Hello everybody, and welcome back. Last time we explored Mount Odoro Pond and we obtained a few medals, and we also took our first step towards completing the Erika and Karin side quests. This time we're going to explore the other section of Mount Odoro Marsh. So let's get to it, shall we? Or I guess we'll just be interrupted by a poison copy. So I'll deal with this one and I'll see you guys in a moment. Alright, welcome back. Let's see what we got. We got Zigzag. That's actually rather nice. And the Bad Metal level up. So as I mentioned last time, the next area that we'll be visiting is the one that connects to this bridge right here. But actually, if we walk down a bit more, we have another bridge. And we have a bunch of monks. So this area, Mount Odoro Marsh, is divided in two parts. The top part is the one that will actually advance the story, and the bottom part, this one, is completely optional, but we do get a nice reward at the end of it. So we'll be doing this one first. This is our training ground. You had best be prepared. So yeah, this one will not fight you, but pretty much every other one will force you to fight them. So you have to fight all of the monks here. Life creates pain. Why do you walk the path of violence? Alright, so we have a newish fight. I already talked about Noctobot first, last time, so we'll just discuss the new Metabot, Dragonfly. But before that, tactics. Well, if you happen to have Noctobot, this battle can be an absolute piece of cake. Otherwise, it is still somewhat manageable. As for Metabee, in this case, I'll just use Missile, but I'm really just banking on Noctobot taking out Dragonfly straight away. If you're playing with Rokusho, you may want to consider using Scout, because Noctobot has a decent evasion as well as Dragonfly. And even if you don't have the bad metal, you have probably already obtained the Psycho Missile part, so you may want to try putting it on your secondary Metabot. Anyways, on to the enemy itself. Dragonfly. So this enemy is pretty much a purely gravity-based Metabot. Its head, as well as both arms, have the gravity skill, in this case in the form of Press. And it has air-type legs, meaning that it is considered an air-type Metabot, so it is quite vulnerable to our anti-air attacks. Aside from that, not much else to add really. I guess if I were to recommend any part, well, if you're looking for any air parts, you can go for Fly, and if not, then pretty much anything else goes. Not really that much else to add. What I really want to is show you, come on, I was really hoping that I could just aim directly at Dragonfly, but I guess it'll be fine. I just really want to show you how strong anti-air parts can really be, and hopefully we'll get the chance right here, in our next attack. Please tell me Noctobot wasn't aiming for that particular arm. Okay, good. And even though that Noctobot should be pretty much equal to us in speed, it is probably using one of the arms to attack, which is why it's so slow. Okay, so yeah, 65 damage, and if we hadn't attacked the head, I would wager that we would have been able to destroy the legs as well. So yeah, all that in a single attack. One more attack with Noctobot should completely destroy Dragonfly. Yeah, that was nothing. Alright, so 32 with Metabee, that's fine. Let's see how much Noctobot does. Nice, a critical to the head, so we won. Alright, let's see what we got. We got a part that we already had, which kinda sucks. But at the very least, our medal level up. Pain brings life. So yeah, as I mentioned, you have to fight all of the monks, and they all have the same team, so if you don't mind, I'll just skip the fight here. So I'll see you guys in a moment. Welcome back! Alright, we got a Dragonfly part, nice. Even if you fail, you must train more. and we have the same fight. I'll see you guys in a moment. Welcome back! And again, another Noctobat part. Well, at the very least, we did learn anti-air. Alright, so right here. Good luck and bad come when least expected. Yet another fight. Welcome back. And yet another spare Noctobat part. Happiness and misfortune come hand in hand. If life was just good or just bad, it wouldn't be interesting. Alright, so right here, even though it seems like there is nothing, Sasuke of the Three Ninja Brothers arrives like wind. Oops, this place was found by someone else. Take and keep a place secret. Ninja Banish. And we got a bear medal. Alright, so similar to what happened last time. The medal that we obtain will be different depending on what version you're playing. So first, let's go over the one for the Metabee version, the bear medal. It has affinity for gravity, meaning that it is a fantastic medal for Medabots such as Dragonfly and Sharkan, and a few others. It will aim for support parts, and it has a compatibility bonus of +7. As for attributes, it has high values in shoot and aim shot, low values in berserk and defend, and then 0 in everything else. On to the Metaforces. First off, we have Gravity Form. It requires half a Metaforce gauge, and it is of the shoot attribute, and it turns all Metapart skills into gravity, therefore doubling their rate of success. Up next we have Absorb Gravity. It requires 70 out of 80 Metaforce, it is of the aim shot attribute, and it makes it so all gravity attacks that you receive are absorbed, therefore healing you. And then finally we have Leg Crash. It requires 70 out of 80 Metaforce, it is of the defend attribute, and it destroys all of the opponent's leg parts, so it can be rather useful in reducing the enemy's mobility. Anyways, on to the Rokusho version. The medal that we would have obtained is the Squid medal. Its attribute is Bind, meaning that it is a good weapon for Medabots such as Octoclan. It will aim for support parts, and it also has a compatibility of +7. As for its attributes, it has high values in strike, mid values in berserk, low values in defend and support, and then 0 in everything else. The first Metaforce it has is called Bind. It requires 50 out of 80 Metaforce, it is of the strike attribute, and it will inflict the Bind status on all enemies. Up next we have Cancel Bind. It requires 60 out of 80 Metaforce, it is of the berserk attribute, and it prevents all allies from being affected by the Bind status. And then finally we have Pushover Attack, which I already discussed previously, so we'll just move on. So yeah, for this minor detour we get a new medal, which is always nice. So let's head back to the top part of the Odoro Marsh, but for now I'll just skip this battle and I'll see you guys in a moment. Welcome back. Alright, we got a new Dragonfly part, nice. And we keep leveling up our medals, that's actually rather nice. Alright, let's make it all the way to the top section. And right here, this girl, if you talk to her, she will fight you. And I'm going to do that because she has a new Medabot. Hey, do you know about the Mountain Hag? Medabots are not only for boys, or not for only boys. Right, so this girl, similar to the fight with Kintaro and Dr. Bokchoy, is a upgraded version of a previous fight. In this case, the main Medabot is still Charlie Bear, but she has a second Medabot. So tactics, I'm going to just pretty much the same tactics for Charlie Bear, because the other Medabot can't really deal any damage, but it can be rather annoying, and I'll explain why in a moment. So yeah, actually I might just go for the Metaforce with Metabee in this case. And Noctobat unfortunately will not get to do much in this particular fight. But anyways, on to the second Medabot, Oceana. This is a purely support Medabot. Its head as well as both arms have the same skill. which is heal. In this case it takes the form of recovery, which allows it to recover any damaged parts on allies and herself. Other than that, she has sea legs, meaning that in shore and underwater fields she will get a bonus. And I guess the final thing to add is that Oceana is a female Medabot, meaning that if you happen to like any of her parts, you still can't do anything about it because we still don't have a female team yet. Though don't worry, soon enough we'll get one. I guess that if I were to recommend a specific part, I guess I would go for either the legs or the head. Aside from that, not much else to say. And unfortunately, Oceana can be rather annoying because this is why I opted to go for the Metaforce, because if possible I would like to completely destroy in one hit either Chorliver or Oceana, because otherwise she will just use her turn to heal. And that can really make the battle drag on for far too long, trust me. And as you saw there, she has fairly decent evasion. Alright, at least we'll get to see the recovery animation. There is a limit to how much she can recover. In that case she only had to recover 8 armor, so of course she fully recovered the part, but otherwise sometimes it will not be able to heal like huge amounts of damage. Alright, come on Metabee, aim for Chorliver. Alright, good. Perfect, amazing. Okay, good. And we got purple fins, that's actually nice. They say she searches for little kids, so she can eat them. Can my Medabot beat her? Right, and right here we have a small house and a bunch of members of the Select Corps, so let's inspect that quickly. But before that, Odoro Marsh Water Taxi, $1 a ride. Boo! Did I surprise you, Robo? You're not going to surprise me with the same way twice. How boring. Well, anyway, I cannot give you a ride now. Someone has reserved my services in advance. Go kill some time and come back. So yeah, we have to kill some time. The best way to do that is actually talking to some of the Select Corps members. And I'll just skip this battle and I'll see you guys in a moment. Welcome back. Right, I believe we're only missing one set of the Dragonfly Metabot. Hopefully we'll get it soon enough. This is the Select Corps Mount Odoro branch. In other words, this is our camping place. This area is closed off due to extreme danger. So yeah, as you can see there's a small cave there, but we can't go quite yet. Hiking always has some kind of danger. We're protecting everybody's safety from here. And here we have the commander. Snore. You don't want to know what will happen if you wake the captain up. Please be quiet. I don't know why, but I always imagine this guy having a voice similar to Smithers. Anyways, this guy. You may want to save before you talk to him, because you have to fight him, and it can be a rather tough fight. You'll see why in a moment. The Select Corps train this way every day. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Do you want to join us? Actually, I just realized I want to quickly change up Noctobot's setup, so I'm going to say no. If I don't train, then I cannot kill time. Yeah, that's your hint that we have to fight him. But I just want to quickly switch up Noctobot. A couple of things. So, last time we played through with the Rokusho version for a good chunk of the episode. And as I was replaying that with Metabee, I got one of the arms for Floro, and I actually want to use it here. I think that's okay. Yeah, this setup will work for the next fight. I'm going to leave Metabee as he is. Yeah, we want to join you, whatever. And here we have, we fight for right. And he has 3 Medabots, the first enemy to do so. So this is why this fight can be rather annoying. And this is also the reason why I changed Noctobot setup a bit, but I'll explain that in a moment. As for tactics, if you happen to have any Metabot with any anti-air weapons, it will be fairly useful, so even if you don't have the bad metal, I suggest that you equip Psycho Missile to your secondary Metabot. Aside from that, if you're playing the Rokusho version, you may want to use Scout at the very least once, and then just simply use Pipo Hammer. As for the enemies themselves, the first one, Attack Tyranno. So he's pretty much a close range Metabot. Both arms are of the Berserk attribute, meaning that they both have chain damage, and the head is of the flow skill and inflicts fire, meaning that it works similar to Melt. Other than that, it is a two-legged Medabot, so that's pretty much it. As for any recommendations, I guess I would say either Breath Fire or Crab Hit. Up next, we have Airterra. So this is almost, in a way, you can think of it as almost identical to, well, its function is almost identical to Rokusho, only that this one is an air-type Medabot. It has Scout for the head, it has the sword on one arm and the hammer on the other, and it has Berserk on one arm. Not much else to add about Airterra really. And finally we have Land Brachio. This is a fairly interesting one. So Land Brachio, the head part, it has anti-air weaponry. This is why I changed Noctobot's legs, because now Noctobot is no longer an air Medabot, it is now a multi-leg Medabot, meaning that even if it is hit by anti-air, it will be fine. It shouldn't take that much damage. Aside from that, both arms are laser weapons, so be careful about that, and it is a tank Medabot, meaning that even though it doesn't get a penalty for any fields, it is quite slow. Right, so let's see if we can actually take out Air Tyranno fairly quickly. Hopefully Noctobot can take out Airterra right away. I think I just said Air Tyranno, I meant Attack Tyranno. Alright. So Noctobot should be fairly quickly, having both the proper leg and the go up arm. But then again, Airterra has... yeah, it has a ton of armor, so I guess it was to be expected that it would survive the first attack. That's annoying, but we can deal with that amount of damage. Alright, good. We got a critical. Good, good. And we happen to destroy whatever part Airterra was going to use. So far so good. We should be able to take him out in the next turn. That shouldn't do much damage really. Yeah, 12 is nothing. We're fine. Let's see... really? Okay, I guess we'll use rifle. It's the only thing that will actually target Attack Tyranno. Alright, so one down. We have even the odds, at the very least numerically. And I guess we'll just use Noctobot to attack Tyranno. Okay, I don't know if this is on purpose or I'm just extremely lucky, but anytime I did this fight, I always found it really easy to get a critical headshot on Attack Tyranno. I don't know if this is intentional because the game realizes that you're at a disadvantage fighting 3 enemies, but that always seemed to happen to me. Anyways, we got the head part for Airterra and a Robo medal. When you want to kill free time, the best thing to do is train. Free time? It is the proof of peace. So yeah, that's pretty much telling us that we can go back to the taxi. So let's do just that. Aha! The Robogang! Who the heck are you? Robo. So, once again, we have another Robogang. In this case, oh boy. Okay, so time to complain. I forgot to switch up Noctobot, and the game doesn't really allow you to rearrange your Metabot once battle has started, or at least in the pre-battle menu. I wish it gave you that possibility, but it doesn't. Anyway, so let's fight with what we have. So the enemy here, we already talked about Magdo Snakes, so the strategy pretty much remains: either use the Metaforce to avoid the the accuracy loss from Virus, or simply use Missile with Metabee and then Scout and attack with Rokusho. As for the new Metabot, Gorem. So this is a rather interesting one. As it is right now, it cannot deal any damage whatsoever, and that is because its head as well as both arms have the same skill, Cancel. Cancel pretty much gives a specific Metabot immunity to a special type of attacks. In this case, he has Cancel Bomb, meaning that he is completely immune to missile and napalm attacks. So yeah, all that Gorem really does is just walk around, and if he happens to get hit by Metabee's missile or any other missile, it will take 0 damage. So that may seem like it's not really that good, but I highly recommend that you try to get as many of the head and arm parts as you can, because trust me, they will come quite in handy for a fight later on. Aside from that, he has the float legs, meaning that he will have a decent performance in all fields. So yeah, not much else to add. And since Gorem can't really take any offensive actions or any actions that deal damage, all he will do for the remainder of the fight is simply charge Metaforce, which again is still pointless. And unfortunately, Magdosnake has enough evasion to avoid Noctobat. So really, this is more of a fight between Metabee and Magdosnake, because Noctobat and Gorem are just messing around doing nothing. Alright, leg part's gone. And I think I also forgot to mention. I mentioned that Noctobat will later become a random enemy, and so will Gorem. In fact, Gorem and Magdosnake are both enemies that the Robos tend to use quite a lot, so you'll see them many times, trust me. Alright, good. Not gonna lie, I was getting a little bit nervous there. Alright, let's see what we got. We got Changer, which we already had. And a Robomel. I'm beaten. Catch him, Iki. Gotcha. Robo. Don't move. What? Iki! I didn't do it. Oh no! I gotta get help! Help! You're in the middle of training, eh? Try your best. Thank you, I guess. Hey, you there. Want a ride for $1? Robo? Gluck, gluck. I'm going to save all my money and buy some new meta parts. But if I attach new meta parts, I won't be able to transform. That's kind of harsh, Robo. Gluck, gluck. What? You're going to go with the flow? Okay, I'll stay out of it, Robo. Wah! Where am I? Why am I dressed like this? This is a girl's kimono. So you're awake, are you? You really surprised me there. Suddenly a child fell from the waterfall. You're the one who saved me, Mom? My little one saved you, dearie. I changed your outfit for you. Oh, and dearie, call me Canny, will you? Canny? Yup. And you are? I'm Icky. What a cute name you have. Scary. Well, where's the one who saved me? He's the one. An air-type Medabot? It is a gift from my granddaughter. I see. Thank you for saving me. I only thought you might be delicious. What? He likes to say crazy things. Pay him no mind. I'm fine now. See? All better. Gotta run. Where are you going, dearie? Creepy. That old woman has got to be the mountain hag that they all talked about. She finds children and fattens them up for her dinner. Anyways, once again, we find ourselves in a situation in which we were forced to wear women's clothing. And we also were swept downstream by the river. So, I think that's more than enough for now. Next time, we'll try to make our way back to Erica and hopefully uncover more information about the ghost of Mount Odoro. See you guys then.